another coach. You said, can we say that? What's his name? Let me not be disrespectful. And y'all say that Belichick is on the hot seat, and we was like, everyone was like, nah, why would you say that? Davey Schefter being ahead of the storm again. Then come Saturday, we see the steel curtain go out there, and then they lose another game. So this is their third straight loss, and we have the Pittsburgh Steelers losing their third straight game. They dropped to 7-7 after Saturday's matchup against Gardner Minshew and the Colts. Some would say the homeless man, but hey, I would call him fiscally responsible because if you can win NFL games and live out your car, you good money to me. But they lost 30-13, and Mike Tomlin shows up in the press conference, and he, of course, he has another Mike T conference. But we got to ask this question. I'm going to start with you, Dave. But the question is Mike Tomlin's voice falling upon deaf ears?
You would have to say yes. And the reason why I'm saying that is because who's the leader of this team? Is it Kenny Pickett? I don't think so. He's only a second-year player. He is the quarterback, but he's only a second-year player, and it's not like they have gotten to the playoffs. They haven't reached the playoffs since 2017. So there's that. You would say it's TJ Watt. He's the defensive guy, but more times than not, you also need that leader to be on the offensive side. And it's usually someone that's either talented or someone that's a winner. We can't really call anyone that right now because they haven't been to the playoffs in a while, like I said. They have I guess it's a weird running back situation because you got Najee Harris, who they drafted, who's been starting, but then you have Warren, who's come in and played some really good games. So what's going on with that? But I think the biggest issue has been George Pickens. Pickens, we know, wide receiver out of Georgia. We've seen what kind of catches that he can make. Okay, so all right, they haven't won a playoff game since 2017. All right, so let me get that straight. Deontay Johnson was also hurt majority of last year. And then you can talk about, you got Minka Fitzpatrick on the defense, who's also, been in this league for a very long time. But it just seems like this locker room is out of whack. It seems like they're questioning each other, questioning how they're going to play. And if you think about this, remember when Matt Canada got fired, and I talked about all these stats about how long it's been since they've had a game for over 400 yards. Now, remember, I said it was 58 games. 44 of those games were Matt Canada. So that means the other 14 was without Matt Canada. So it's been 58 games while Mike Tomlin has been the head coach that their offense hasn't had over 400 yards. Now, they had one the week after Matt Canada got fired, but how many have they had since then? And I get it. Kenny Pickett is hurt, but they were talking about benching him before he got hurt. Then you got Mr. Trubisky. We know what he is in this league. Mason Rudolph, we've seen what he's done with Pittsburgh. Maybe it's just a sign for them needing a new voice in the locker room. He's been there for a very long time, but they haven't had much success since Ben Roethlisberger pretty much retired. Like I said, they only won, the last playoff win was in 2017. They've gotten to the playoffs in I guess it was 2020 or 2021. But where have they been since then? Are they just okay with having a winning season and not having a losing record, or do they really want to compete? Because there are only two teams in the NFL with 6 Super Bowl titles. That's the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So are they really going to go for Super Bowl titles, or are they just going to continue to make sure they don't have a losing record when the season's in? So they have some questions that they really need to talk about.
Joe?
Gotta disagree with you, Dave. They are not falling other than deaf ears. This is how I look at this team, right? They're losing. First of all, look where they at based on how they look. They've overachieved. Can we all agree that? They have overachieved. The fact that they are still in the playoff picture, with their season looking like it is, it's impossible. They can't be falling under deaf ears because Mike Tomlin's voice had to be working for them to be in this position. And I look at the games that they actually lost. There have been games either they play against a good team, 49ers. The Houston Texans are pretty, they show promising. They lost to the Cleveland Browns, but even they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that was Mitchell Trubisky, and they lost their last game. That was Mitchell Trubisky. Like the game was tied when Kenny Pickett got knocked out the game. So once Trubisky came in, they lost the lead. So they have a quarterback issue right now. First, they had an offensive coordinator issue. Now, I will say this: Mike Tomlin waited too late to make a change at the offensive coordinator position. He did, but to his defense, with all the coordinator problems, they were still winning games. So it wasn't like they were losing with this coordinator; they were still winning games. And then when it got real ugly, that's when he had to make a change, which he did. And then, but Kenny Pickett can't stay in the lineup. So I think that Mike Tomlin is a great coach. I think that he's doing a great job this year. If they make the playoffs, he will have a shot to be coach of the year from all the crap they went through offensively. They actually went through a point. It was a point of the season when they were outgained every game and still had a winning record. I never heard before. That's coaching right there. But I think what's going to stop him from being coach of the year is that Matt Canada move happening too late. But I don't think he's falling deaf ears. I think he's doing the job.
So the Matt Canada move was one. He needs to fire his wide receiving coaches also, because you said they have a quarterback issue. They also have a wide receiver issue as well. Excuse me. Because if you look at some of those plays recently, none of their wide receivers want to block anymore when the play either doesn't go their way or it's a running play. They don't even block anymore. They just stand there. They don't even attempt to block. They literally just stand like a statue, like they stand outside of Buckingham Palace. That's what they're doing. And that's not good. And that's why most people are trying to say this is falling upon deaf ears. Because if you think about it, right, Mike T came out and he said, of course, what Vaughn was saying in the chats, this is where Jalen Hurts get his quotes from. He was like basically saying, I don't have the answers today. And if I had the answers, then we would have played differently. He's like, if we keep doing the same thing, then expect different results. That's basically insanity, right? Again, how many coaches has the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise had? 16. That says something about them. They still have 6 rings, right? For them to only have 16 head coaches. I've seen franchises go through coaches and quarterbacks like turnstiles. I ain't gonna say a few names, commanders, but we've seen it happen, right? And with this situation, I just think Mike T needs a new environment or just a breath of fresh air as far as in the locker room. I ain't gonna say he needs to leave Pittsburgh, but they need something in that locker room, because what's happening now is kind of like rap music today. And it goes back to a debate that we just had in the chats about who's the GOAT. Is it Lil Wayne or Jay-Z? Right now, everybody is listening to Jay-Z feel like Mike T is the GOAT of coaches. We know he's good at what he does, but then you got these youngins coming in the locker room saying, well, I only like Lil Wayne and, everything that he brought to the culture, the influence is there. So I'm not going to listen to what you got to say anymore, old man. And that's how they treating him. They're like, look, we tired of this, old man. The old way was the old way. Or I got something for y'all. Remember this for my Baltimore people. The old days. You want the old days to be like the old days. And that's just what they are. The old days. So that old way, we not going to play like that. So unless you can find somebody that's going to come in there and bring a breath of fresh air, they're going to keep doing the same old things. Now, all of us up here would agree that we would like Mike T as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, again, go ahead.
That's exactly what. So I'm not saying that Mike T is a bad coach. I think this is the same thing I said about Belichick. I don't think neither one of them are bad coaches. Sometimes it just comes to a time to where things just need to move on. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that Mike Tomlin should be on the hot seat. I'm not saying he should be fired. His team is not 3-10. Let's just get that out the way. His team is not 3-10. But I'm just talking about from the standpoint of them saying that he's never had a losing season. Is that just enough? Is that all that you want to say about him as a head coach? He is a Super Bowl champion. He has a Super Bowl ring. So we know that he's a Super Bowl head coach. But is that it?
Dave, I got you. And Joe,
you're gonna
be able to relate. I ain't saying you're gonna be able to relate as in where I'm going with this analogy, but you're gonna be able to relate. And for anybody that's been in a relationship, a long-term relationship, what's the first thing that your spouse will ever come to you say after you feel like it's getting stale? we need to do something to liven this up. Like, we don't go out like we used to. We don't dance like we used to. You just all you do is come in the house and watch football all day. Like, come on.
We need to put some spark back into the relationship, put some fire back into the relationship.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying is what is he going to do to improve this offense? Because that's the biggest issue is this offense. Yeah. We know his defense can play lights out no matter what. They've given up some points this year, and we know that. But this defense we still know this defense is good. But Joe, like you said, he waited too long to get rid of Matt Canada. I get it, y'all. You were winning games, but you were winning games in spite of your offense. It's because you were only winning because of your defense. We all know that your defense is only going to get you but so far. This is not the 2000 Ravens. This is not the 85 Bears. Your defense is not going to be able to get you that far in this league without your offense being able to get them off the field. Your offense got to be able to at least sustain drives and score points. That hasn't been the case for the Steelers for a little while now. And is that what they're just going to accept? Is they're going to accept that just because Mike T is Mike T? Maybe they just need a new voice in there. And even if he stays, get an offensive coordinator in there that's going to help improve this offense. If not, then maybe it's time for him to go.
So the issue is not like, okay, I don't think it's deaf ears because, like I said, they overachieved this year. They have done better. You put a different coach in the situation, they are not in the playoff picture. So a change of scenery is not good for Mike Tomlin. He's good where he's at. A change of quarterback or a change of coordinator is the answer. But look at the previous year, settling for winning records. Who have been their quarterback? They had noodle arm Ben Roethlisberger and went 10-0. I mean, Mike Tomlin is doing an awesome job right now.
It was 11-0, then they lost the last 6 games.
Because the Ben Roethlisberger is garbage. I'm sorry. He couldn't even throw the ball 20 yards downfield. Everything was screens and slants. I mean, he thought he was throwing AJ Brown. He said, what?
Y'all was the team that ended that streak, right?
Yeah, we did. Chase Young was there. They called it the flawed playoff year, but we made it. I mean, if y'all let a flawed playoff team, I'll do y'all. I mean, that's all I gotta say. That's you. I'm talking about some other fans on the bench. But anyways. And sorry, I had to take a shot at AJ Brown. AJ Brown is elite. All right, I don't want AJ Brown.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's an elite receiver.
AJ Brown or Antonio Brown?
Oh, well, that's another debate. I get what you're saying. Elite is like Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I got you. He's a really, really good receiver. So, sound like pump the brakes. Cooley Jackson.
No, you talking about the Steelers? I'm thinking you talking about Antonio Brown.
No. I took a shot at AJ, but I don't think you heard it though. I said Ben Roethlisberger knew the arm. He can only do screens and slants. You would have thought he was throwing at AJ Brown.
You're right. My bad. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right.
but I mean, they are good what they got, and who the leader is? It's TJ Watt. If y'all listen to TJ Watt press conferences, that man is a leader. That man is a leader. I listen to the press conference. He always encouraged, talking about other people on his team, encouraging all that stuff. He sounds like a leader to me. And not only he sounds like a leader, he leads by example on the field. All right. So, I think that Mike Tomlin is good where he's at, and Pittsburgh will be fools to let him go.
They will be. Now, at the end of the day, I think we all agree here, but I think we messed up the casserole, man.
I think so too. Because that was so random. So random. I had no idea what he was talking about. Like, Carl, what does this have to do with anything we talk about right now?
I have no idea. But I think a clear cut across the board, we all agree that he shouldn't be fired. We just saying there needs to be some spark back to this whole Steelers organization. Because now it's the same old thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying Mike T should be on the hot seat.
Y'all said new scenery.
Yeah, so what I meant by that's why I had to bring out the analogy as far as like we only go to the same places we always used to go to. How about we, instead of going to Miami every year, let's go to Vegas or California. We can go to Canada. There's so many other places to go, but yet
I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Matt Canada. I'm going to Canada.
All right. Let's go to Jamaica.
No, this is Canada.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what Dave is essentially saying is if we only care about just never having a losing season, that's just going to the same old place over and over again. Yeah. We need to go a level up, and we know you can take us to that level because you've been there before.
The issue is this though. They always have a winning record. So they're not in position to get a quarterback.
They got to make a trade.
They're not in position to draft. They could trade. That like and with Belichick's situation got nothing to do with his coaching. Everything with his GM skills. If he to give up GM skills, keep him as a coach still. It's because both teams don't have their quarterback. Now they think they got Kenny Pickett, but he hasn't shown that. Mac Jones, same thing. It's literally the same situation. Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett. The quarterback is the issue, not the rest of the team. The rest of the team doing a good job. It's just the quarterbacks and the receivers. I can be saying the receivers, George, and they're young receivers too, So like this is it's the youngest receiver core he probably ever had in his career. Other than these are the same guys from last year, but this is probably the youngest receiving core he probably ever had. So it's an adjustment.
And that's when you got to look at the GM too, because now I know we about to move on. We about to close this out, but what is Justin Fields? I know how people feel about Justin Fields, but he might be on the block. They might end up with the number 1 pick in this quarterback class. Are you just gonna go over a quarterback and get Marvin Harrison Jr. as the number 1 pick? You could, but if you don't believe in Justin Fields, then you need to trade your quarterback. Hey, Steelers, there's somebody who can run the ball and help out with your run game. It's just things that can be done, but are they gonna do it?
They think Kenny their guy. Now in that situation, if you think Kenny is your guy, you will have to hit the jackpot. You have to find somebody in the draft. If you think Kenny's your guy, find another quarterback in the draft, and then if Kenny is slumming, instead of putting Mitch Trubisky in, put this young QB in and see what he got. That's what I would do. Like they got Rudolph and Trubisky. Like we know they're not the answers. You can keep Mason Rudolph because he knows the system and all that good stuff, but get rid of Trubisky and just get somebody. Because they paid Trubisky, remember?
Yep.
That GM, you're right. GM, they actually paid that man last year.
Speaking of, everybody can't get lucky though, Joe. Like everybody can't get lucky and just find a quarterback after taking a quarterback high in the draft.
Cool. Everybody's gonna get Kirk Cousins somehow. I get it.
Whoa. I mean,
with Kirk Cousins though.
Same offensive coordinator, but I'm going to a different side of the coast with it.
Oh, go ahead.
You can get Mr. Irrelevant, and then next thing you know, your team just almost about to make the Super Bowl, and then come back next year and he an MVP runner. MVP Purdy. It's going to be tough. I don't know if the Steelers can do that. Everybody not blessed like the 49ers or Howie. Oh, what's Dylan Lawson? The form? Oh, see, look, we getting updates. I knew he was up to something over there. But we got to say.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.